Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Kuzekov Daniyar. Currently, I'm a student at Tsinghua 6, Shenzhen Institute of Graduate Studies, studying data science and information technology. Today, I would like to present you our project, our thesis, which is basically blockchain-enabled universal engine for collaborative document auditing and workflow optimization. So I've been recently working on my abstract, and we conducted some research. So current problem is that in many companies, we have our traditional document workflow, which basically spans from having an architect, um, which is who is responsible for basically passing his ideas in a document, let's say to engineer. And then because of the sequentiality, it takes lots of time to get it up to, let's say, to designer, to owner, and in order, uh, and it has this centralized and intermediary dependent environment. And that's why it has a bottleneck of time issue and inefficiency. And it is interesting because the span is not only in construction, but also in engineering, legal, and healthcare. So the problem is wide. So in order to solve this issue, we are proposing to use non-centralized trust chain, where basically all stakeholders can collaborate all together at the same time. We want to enable transparent and simultaneous document editing. And that's why, let's say, here we have our main project, and we have different stakeholders working at the same time. And instead of passing document from one person to another and passing it back, we are basically enabling all stakeholders to view the document and build up as a team. So that's why the project's time completion increases. So that's why you can see here our novel collaborative method. So currently there are many companies who are already working on similar like projects, let's say Autodesk, Oracle, Procore. They are building a common data environment for their projects, for their construction related databases. So that's why there are also another companies who are working on construction data provenance, which are using blockchain. However, previous ones are not using blockchain. And there is a trend rising across industry. So in this case, we want to enable users to have an access to different building information modeling like documents, let's say IFC, DVG, or like other types of like document types. And that's why we also want to anchor it to legal cadastre for ownership and compliance. So we have different architecture layers. So we start off with our main blockchain transaction layer, then collaborative editing engine, and we want to have decentralized storage layer as well as procurement layer. So in terms of core technologies, we want to build a conflict-free replicated data types for real-time editing, role-based weight voting system. So in many cases, usually people use proof of stake or proof of work for their consensus, but we are trying to do not ripples in this case. And as well as we want to decentralize our storage via interplanetary file systems for secure content management. So from the perspective of financial dimension, we want to enable bank accounts and link them with project accounts. So let's say we have our interface where user can link his personal wallet to our platform, and via smart contracts, we can enable them to directly transfer fiat to their wallets and use them inside of the system. And the goal is the digital trust in a semi-trustless system with strong audit trails and not just for like paying people. In terms of security, we know that some companies do not want to share their personal data and they want to have their own confidentiality. So that's why we can add private key sharing for selective data visibility. However, other data, they're all immutable. That's why we want to keep everything secured. and because of the immutability. So from the research, we are testing if our direction is correct via continuous time Markov chains and finite state Markov processes. So here are preliminary results, and these are like empirical results which we can analyze. We can see that from public data sets that we found, we see that usually from linear baseline of how it happens in different environments, like in the real world, it takes around 1 year to complete whole project for construction area. However, we tested with our new novel collaborative workflow, it could be reduced up to 60%, as well as companies can actually afford the usage of our system because the mean transactions per document could be around 75.5, and usually it takes like 50 cents, if not mistaken, from just one transaction, and that's why it is usually affordable. In terms of implementation, we are going to use React TypeScript. For backend is going to be Rust, and for smart contracts, we're going to use Corda, and we're going to optimize our environment. And we want to cause paradigm shift from hierarchical to democratic workflows. So now I'd like to show our platform. Just a second, let me do it here. Yep. So this is a demo. Basically, we can have different documents. It could be IFC document or just a regular document for non-construction related projects, as well as we can connect our wallet and track our blockchain audit. So let's say we have a construction project. We can create one document and see what's happening inside. It could be IFC as here. Just a second. Yeah, it could be IFC project, as you could see here. We can load it and then see what kind of structure it has inside. We can list components, as well as we can edit IFC itself. So I'm going to try to add some additional numbers and see if this works. So we have our own versioning system. We can validate if it is correct. Then if our syntax is correct, we can save our IFC file. Okay, yeah, I need to update it. Okay, we can save our IFC file and we can see it on our map as this, as hash, which we can refer to after. Also, we can create different branches from our project. Let's say, as here, we can divide it into teams like team A and team B working on different projects, and they can save their own versions, and we can vote which project version is the best one. Let's say we can go to consensus, and we can do voting and see which project is indeed the best. We use weighted voting system where different roles, let's say admin or like other people, they have different weights. As you can see here, if you are owner, you have level 4. Others have lower levels of authority. That's why their authority level weights are also different. So in terms of IFC documents, which is this one, we can also have, just a second. We can also have our building information here. We can do procurement analysis, building analysis. We can check if our GRA is compliant. Then in terms of procurement, yeah, we can select different components. There are no active procurements now, but we can check it after. And there is also approval workflow. We can approve an idea up to like different stakeholders can also approve that ideas, or either field authorities, external authorities, and then we can finalize our project. The consensus mechanism is here, as well as we can trail all actions happened in our blockchain audit. So this is our current state of research and development. And if you have any questions, you can contact me via the following email. And thank you very much for your attention.